My friends, we have tons of reports and updates to get through today, as I'll be discussing Nicolas Jackson and Man United links, what winning the Club World Cup might mean for us financially, Jorrel, Hato links, plus a ton more. So if you guys are still riding a high after these incredible last few days, then hit that like button, smash the hell out of it, you guys. And of course, make sure you check today's big video where I discuss the 5 key things we've learned after bagging the Club World Cup. 2 quick plugs, my friends, but if you guys were smart on your Enzo Maresca and you were tactically waiting for us to see if we bagged the Club World Cup, well, wow, credit to you, because right now, of course, you can buy the official Club World Cup winning home shirt. If you guys also want to buy the home shirt to wait to add the crest on our shirt, which will be ours for the next 4 years, then use my links above in the description or card below, and never ever forget Nini10 at checkout to get 10% off your final order, my friends. So that's that out the way. But finally, today's video was brought to you by OneFootball. My friends, download the OneFootball app. The Club World Cup is over, but relive the stats, the moments, the fixtures, whilst also having a companion app in your pocket that I'm telling you, you're going to find it so handy and so useful. I use the OneFootball app every single day. If I want to get like quick fixture updates or news or reports or anything seamlessly, I know immediately where to go to ensure that I'm getting the info I need pronto like that. Try out for yourselves. It's free. Use the QR code on screen and use the link in the description below. So thank you to OneFootball for sponsoring today's video, and let's tackle today's latest reports. Now, big article today from The Telegraph. Chelsea eye 100 million kit sponsor boost after Club World Cup glory. Now, I'm sure you guys have seen the madness that Man City pulled off, as they always do somehow. They're set to sign a 10-year, $1 billion deal with Puma. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense how they do that. So don't get any ideas thinking that we might try and bag like 100 mil a year season front of shirt sponsors. That won't happen. But I think they mean that over the course of a front of shirt sponsor's contractual length, we could get an additional amount of money up to the tune of 100 million after bagging the Club World Cup. Now, as you guys can see here, we're set to earn around 84.5 million pounds, around like 100 and something million dollars after winning this year's Club World Cup. We've learned that our players will be earning bonuses in the range of 350k a week. I mean, being a footballer, like just like mortgage deposit money, it's just absolutely nuts what these guys are on sometimes. But of course, the main news being front of shirt sponsor talks. Now, we've tactically decided to resist just signing desperation deals because we're waiting to get our full value's worth. We turned down offers up to the tune of 40 mil per year because we feel like one day the value of this club needs a front of shirt sponsor that will pocket us around 60 mil a year. And after winning the Club World Cup, we are learning that there are many many companies. The report here says 7 out of the 10 big global companies are offering long-term front of shirt sponsorship deals. That was like the ultimate success from winning the Club World Cup. We can get a higher caliber of sponsor adorning our shirts, as we should. You know, I'm gone on those days where crypto companies and all those like weird made-up companies you never heard of were like gracing our shirts. That shouldn't be the case. We need like premium brands because we're a premium football club, and the Club World Cup really just boosted our reputation even more. Anyway, the Telegraph says here, a source says that Chelsea would have left as much as 100 million on the table by agreeing a long-term front of shirts sponsorship this time last year. With Champions League qualification, winning the Club World Cup, the club can now negotiate a much bigger deal, and that is incredibly exciting because finally we're going to be in a safe type of financial place right now at the club, and hopefully this means that we'll never have to worry about FFP, because I think one of the limiting things has been the fact that the club's revenue hasn't been as high as it should be for reasons such as not securing some of these sponsor deals. But we're the Hot Club right now. We're the Hot Boys right now. Brands want to be part of us. They see the vision. The whole world's seeing the vision. It's a really exciting time for the football club, honestly. That's not it, my friends. A few more little things here. The Telegraph also discusses our dynasty plans because we are not deviating from buying top young talent in the world. I'll be discussing the next story later on, discussing some of this top talent we are hoping to secure from Ajax. But obviously, winning 2 trophies in 3 months is going to do things for us. I'm curious to what type of young talent that could be. Kenan Yildiz, he kind of fits the mold in terms of like wonder kids that are good enough right now to help us achieve things. It's really exciting and it's really interesting. I guess maybe the main thing is though is the stadium for myself. I hope that now that Sadiq Khan is on our sides, we are gonna start to make some moves now. We have some, political clout behind us and support to try and secure something in terms of a stadium. But, these deals are nice, but the real money maker is in securing that stadium. So my friends, share your thoughts and opinions behind what it means for us financially now, because it seems like we're going to be making some serious money at this football club, my friends. But right now, let's discuss one of the big reports today as we discuss Jorrel Hato. Now, this story comes courtesy of Ben Jacobs. He's writing for TalkSport, and he reveals that at the moment, Arsenal and Liverpool are expressing interest in making a move for our long-term target. As he reports, Chelsea have held fresh talks for Ajax defender Jorrel Hato as we continue to explore defensive reinforcement. You guys, come on, we've all known for time that we need to add a competition guy alongside Cucurella. The moment anything happens to Cucurella, I am scared for the team. I'm scared for the system. We have no one who can replace him. We can't go into a Champions League season where we're going to be up against a higher, stronger caliber of team, especially when every team will want to beat us. That's the type of marker we've placed on ourselves now after the success that we're finding. So we cannot put all this pressure for Cucurella to perform out of his skin physically. We need to get that competition. And I think Jorrel Hato could be a very interesting target. Now, obviously, we're looking to move on your Ben Chilwells. We're hearing nothing in regards to clubs expressing interest. I personally feel for your Sterlings and Chilwells, they'll be like the end of transfer window type of deals and business. I think when clubs are in desperation mode, they'll turn to options like that. Would it surprise me if Man United made an offer for Chilwell near the end? Hey, crazier things have happened in this market, but right now we need a player that can excel playing the inverted role as well as playing as the left centre back in the team. And I do think that Hato definitely fits that mold. I've been really impressed by this guy. I think he's quite press resistant. I like his ability to move inside and play inside quite a lot, as you're seeing from the clips. He has that Ajax education. And really exciting things like the fact that at such a young age, I think he's played over 50 club appearances, or nearly 100 now at a very young age. This is someone that will only get better. I think having Cucurella as your mentor, that is an exciting thing to have. He's going to learn so much stepping up and playing for us, but we're also going to benefit from the fact that we can allow Cucurella to get rotated a little bit more. I think offensively Hato is very strong. I think defensively, of course, let's not act like every young defender is like Paolo Maldini. Or even like a Dean Howson. That's not the benchmark. We shouldn't be placing that type of pressure on him. I say that because Hato isn't the finished article defensively, but the club obviously know that. But they know that with his potential, with what he can do, and the fact that he complements and suits this system that Maresca has set up, he is someone that could be that guy in the long term. Personally, I'm going for Hato over Vega. I think Vega will probably end up being good in the future, but I was always kind of confused by why we needed him, because I don't think he was mobile enough to really play that inverted role. Look what Cucurella has been doing for us. Now imagine Renato Vega offering that same license, unless he's inverting inside to make a pivot. I don't think there's much utility to Renato Vega outside of that position, or playing as a centre-back, where ideally he's playing in the middle of the defence because he doesn't have that recovery pace or speed. And I think Badiashile is a better ball player than him, in my opinion. So I'm hoping things happen. I feel like Liverpool are showing pressure, but personally, I feel like, you know, if you're Hato, you might feel like coming to Chelsea right now, young club, you know, on the rise. You'll get a lot of access to minutes, in my opinion. I think that is probably better for you than Liverpool. But at the same time, they've signed Kirkhead. Robertson, I think, has already gone right to LA. I mean, I can't even remember right now. And he can probably find minutes playing as a left back whilst competing with Konate and Van Dijk and learning from Virgil van Dijk. So I'm not going to dismiss the Liverpool offensive in the market, especially when Liverpool have the ambitions to do it madness. We've all read the Isak reports. We know that they love Rodrigo. They're looking to end their transfer business now for the next like 5 years minimum with these types of deals they're hoping to pull off. But in my opinion, I hope he bag Hato. I don't see many amazing inverted style players of his dimensions on the market right now. And I think when he's at the best one currently, we have to try and find the funds. But that will be interesting because Ajax are hoping to get around 60 million, which is stupidly inflated. But there's belief that even 40 million could get a deal done. And 40, I guess, is fair, considering Disasi was around a similar amount, as well as Badiashile. Something around 40 and add-ons. Let's hope something gets done. But my friends, that's everything Hato out the way. Share your thoughts and opinions on the story. But right now, let's discuss one of the interesting reports currently, and that's surrounding Nicolas Jackson. Now, we are learning that Man United are actually monitoring Jackson's situation. Now, I feel like I predicted that this would be the inevitable. I feel like with how United are struggling to pull off moves right now, it only makes sense that with options dwindling in the market, they'll turn their attentions to us. Now, we are happy to sell Nico for the right amount of money. And to be fair, I don't think he is needed because he is not a left winger. If that was the case, I guarantee we would have seen him playing there in the Club World Cup. He's barely come on these last games. He did not feature in the final. I think his future is set. There's a lot, it's a very interesting debate around Nico Jackson, and from many people in the fan base that feel that Nico is kind of getting discarded. He's getting treated like cattle. He's developed, he's improved. Last season was hard for him because he was the only fit striker. So he was tiring out in games. There was pressure to play week in, week out. And naturally, that led to him losing his form a little bit. If there was a Delap or Pedro last season, I don't think we would have seen Nico dipping as much. But I think what sealed his fate was the signing of Liam Delap. The club didn't have to sign Liam. They could have kept Nico and signed Joao Pedro. Let's keep it real. But I think the moment they made that move, they're thinking, you know what, we're getting a player that Maresca wants for way less money, which means that we could probably flip Nico for double the amount we bought him for and use that to reinvest in signing Joao Pedro. I mean, I don't know how the club are seeing things right now, but United, it's looking really interesting what their position is. As we know, AC Milan have made an inquiry. That was rejected. That was 30 million plus add-ons. And to be fair, Serie A clubs, stop wasting our time. They're like my least favorite report to discuss whenever Italian clubs are expressing interest, because you know it's long, it's boring, it's convoluted, and it's the same stuff time and time again. One to watch out for though, is Aston Villa interest. That is the key one. But in my opinion, I think the only way we could potentially bag was if maybe Morgan Rogers was involved in a deal like that. We have a lot of money after securing the Club World Cup. We're set to make more money from sales as well too. We're going to reinvest that, and I think we have to. Make sure you guys catch my 5 things we learned video for winning the Club World Cup. I talk about these types of topics that are important for us right now. But Nico Jackson, for me, it has to be minimum of at least 50 mil for his sale. Clubs are expressing interest. I'm really curious to see who's making the move. But listen, if I'm Man United, yeah, because I was predicting United would eventually come in and kind of emerge as candidates. If I'm them, I'm using Nico Jackson as a second striker alongside Cunha, and I'm buying someone like Victor Boniface or Mateta. I'm saying, you know what, Crystal Palace is 30 million, boom. Come on. Like, they're the type of moves I'm making. I think Nico Jackson could definitely have a lot of fun playing that second striker role alongside Acuna playing off of a striker, or maybe just interchanging with someone like Acuna. It'll be an interesting one to see. At the same time, I don't like the idea of strengthening rivals. Ideally, I wish we could sell all these guys to Europe, but the reality is when all the money is in the Premier League, it's only natural that you're going to expect you're selling your top guys to Prem clubs. So let's continue to watch this space, because it does seem like Man United, in my opinion, could be forced to come in eventually to try and make something happen for him. So my friends, share your thoughts and opinions on that. Do you think Nico Jackson's getting done a bit dirty here, or is this the game? That's how things go, and it's not personal, but it's business. So my friends, let's end things now with the final story. I kind of got my slides messed up a little bit, but it's time to discuss the latest on exits. Now, there's a really interesting article coming out from, is it Calcio Masato, something like that? No, Tuto Masato. We know that Bayern have expressed interest in getting a Renato Vega from us. That's one to watch out for. They're expressing interest in that possibility. But it does seem like they need to sell Kim Min-jae first. Kim Min-jae was someone that was on our shortlist based on early reports that came out this summer. There's one to watch, but he is attracting interest from Saudi as well as other big European clubs as well too. As it mentions, Atletico Madrid, Spurs have shown an interest as well as us. I think Kim Min-jae is a pretty interesting player. I think he would definitely play that type of, defensive destroyer role that could complement a Levi Cole. I'm not necessarily opposed to a move like that. Let's see what happens with Wesley Fofana. We're still waiting for him to get back from injury. We've seen that Maresca has also been willing to use Badia and Cole together in defense, but I think Tosin and Jalapa have definitely risen in their estimations. So I don't know if signing a centre-back is necessarily key for us, if you're asking me. I would prioritize getting that player that can play inverted left back and defense. I think that makes more sense compared to signing a classic defender. I think you wait for the next window. You wait next summer. If you decide to make a move for defenders, let's see what players like Anselmino and Cole do, because we're learning that Anselmino may in fact be getting a loan move to Strasbourg. That's one to watch out for. I think Anselmino, from what I've heard, has been impressing Maresca and many of his teammates behind the scenes at Chelsea. And the player himself said in an interview publicly, listen, after the injuries I had, it makes sense for me now to go somewhere to get minutes and to play. He understands the situation. I think that makes the most sense for us. And I think having him close to us in the umbrella, let's see what he does. We're seeing success stories with Strasbourg. It's obvious that Strasbourg now is becoming that finishing school for us. As the Athletic says, the big expectations are is that Kendry Pires, Anselmino and Mike Penders will be the next loan moves. We're trying to sell Samuel Smith to Strasbourg, which is a genius move. And we've of course sold Amugo to Strasbourg as well. More players we can keep our watchful eyes out for. So I'm loving what we're doing with Strasbourg. Hopefully they continue to have a great season. We're also seeing here, of course, too, Dortmund are trying to re-sign Carney. I'd imagine they are going to probably bag him on another loan move, because we're not going to get 30-40 million. Trust and bank on the fact that Carney forms a great relationship with Joe Bellingham behind Guirassy next season. And try and bank on that fact that you could be making your money back that way. Of course, other players to get rid of. Ben, Joao Felix with Benfica really, pumping the gas right now to strike a deal. De Sassi, who's attracting interest from Villarreal. We want around 30 million for a sale. Let's see. Ugo Chukwu, who's being discarded. I think it's a bit mad, to be fair. But I even remember when we first signed him, it was kind of like, what was necessarily the point? We signed him to then send him on bad loans. Why was he not given the Strasbourg loan day one? That would have been more beneficial, no? I don't know. I always said I would have just kept him over Asugo, but we're in that reality right now. Another player to watch out for is Armando Broja. I told you guys before about Bundesliga interest, and the Athletic also confirms the same thing. Let's hope we can get some decent money for him. I'm hoping Broja gets back, man. I don't like when players, their careers slow down because of injuries. You can't control that. But what I'll say is that Armando Broja was our original Liam Delap before the injuries came, but now we've replaced him with the real one, I guess. But Leipzig and Stuttgart are expressing interest. Go to the Bundesliga, play there. It's an offensive league. It will suit your game. It will allow you to get back to full speed. You're playing for teams that look to create for their strikers. And hopefully it means that we can get pretty good money if there's a bidding war for Broja's services. So my friends, that is all the latest news and updates today. Share your thoughts and opinions. Don't forget to catch today's big uploads as well too, and always have those notification buttons on to stay locked in to everything happening at Chelsea FC. Hope you guys enjoy. See you all tomorrow. Love. Cool.